The headlines today: researcher says no elected seeds out of the needed 55,000 metric tons have entered the Tigray region. Member of Tigray Armed Forces Central Command Getachew Reda lambasts the EU for cozying up to the Ethiopian officials. Oromos, abandoning their Amharic names, feel they're getting their cultural voice back. Moving on to our main updates, the government of Tigray says the international community has failed to prevent widespread summary and extrajudicial executions of Tigrayans. The government of Tigray today issued a statement on the New Humanitarians article entitled "Exclusive, the Ethiopian border town is in ruins as a cessation of hostility takes effect," which was published on the 2nd of June 2022. According to the statement, the report revealed to the world the presence of concentration camps in the Afar region that are run with the aid of the Ethiopian government public funds. It noted that the report is a stark reminder that since the beginning of the genocidal war on Tigray, security forces and affiliated militias across Ethiopia have plundered the private properties of Tigrayans and engaged in large-scale extrajudicial killings. The government of Tigray said it strongly believes that the number of Tigrayans illegally held under cruel, inhumane, and degrading conditions is high. The statement said, sadly, the international community has failed in its role of prevention in the face of widespread summary and extrajudicial executions of Tigrayans. It also indicated that tens of thousands of Tigrayans languish under inhumane, deteriorating detention facilities, left to starve and die while receiving no medical care. The statement noted on the report's reminder that approximately 70 people have died while in detention demonstrates how deliberately the system is designed for extermination, though even this figure severely underestimates the extent of atrocities committed against Tigrayans. The government of Tigray reiterated its call for international community to take its responsibility seriously in ensuring the safety and security of Tigrayans, including the 9,500 innocent people identified by the New Humanitarian. It also called for unimpeded access for media and international human rights institutions to areas where concentration camps are located to document the extent of devastation caused to ensure accountability. Researcher says no selected seeds out of the needed 55,000 metric tons and only 11% of the required fertilizer have entered the Tigray region. Imnet Nagash, assistant professor at Maale University and a researcher at the University of Ghent, Belgium, said no selected seeds out of the needed 55,000 metric tons and 7,000 metric tons of fertilizer out of the needed 60,000 metric tons have made it into the Tigray region. Imnet noted, since the growing period for most crops over the vast majority of Tigray starts in June, the delivery time of farm inputs is as important as the amount. The researcher cautioned unless the needed farm inputs are urgently delivered, any amount of aid entering Tigray is only a painkiller. Health Professional Network for Tigray, an SOS partner in sending $200,000 worth of medical supplies to help Tigrayan refugees in Sudan. Denise Sears, who is CEO and president of SOS, announced that medical supplies have been dispatched to the refugee camps in Sudan, where over 60,000 Tigrayans have fled the war and the genocide on Tigray. Health Professionals Network has been campaigning to end this Tigray siege. Health Professionals Network for Tigray is an independent, not-for-profit organization based mostly in North America, made up of volunteer health professionals who are committed to improving the health of Tigrayans in Ethiopia and beyond. Health Professionals Network for Tigray is focused on supporting the people who are disproportionately impacted, the people in Tigray and those seeking refuge. It is working to support unmet basic needs such as adequate shelter, clean water, nutritional care, and medical supplies. Member of Tigray Armed Forces Central Command Getachew Reda lambasts the EU for cozying up to Ethiopian officials. Getachew, who was commenting on a message the EU and Ethiopia posted on its Twitter account regarding what is claimed to be a quote-unquote very informative briefing for the EU ambassadors and the EU delegation by Ethiopia's Ministry of Justice. EU's message read, "Accountability and redress measures taken for conflict-related human rights violations are positive steps in the right direction." In a tweet, Getachew Reda criticized the EU for congratulating what he dubbed well-known authors for human rights violations for training them in accountability and redress for human rights violations. Then it means we are missing something, or so I think, Getachew Reda wrote again on his official Twitter account. 19 people killed in clashes between special forces and militants in the Kamashi zone. At least 19 people, including head of local administration, were killed in clashes between the Benshangul Gumuz Regional State Special Forces and militants from the Gumuz People's Democratic Movement, an armed group operating in the area, the regional state's police commissioner said. The administrator of Mizga Warada in Kamashi zone was the official who was killed. He was on the scene of the clash by accident. Benshangul Gumuz Regional State's Police Commissioner Harun Omar said that a businessman at whose residence a weapon being used by the militants was one of the found dead of the 19 people killed. On the 2nd of March, attack by militants on public bus traveling from Metakal to Guba claimed the lives of at least 20 civilians, some of them burned alive by the government troops of the Amhara forces. The latest attack comes in the backdrop of growing insecurity reported by the UN in February this year, which has left more than 500,000 people internally displaced.